Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 11 o'clock news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to start out with a story out of Washington where two men have been arrested in connection with a shooting that happened on Sunday night. That was yesterday night. Now, Washington police say they were called to the 600 block of West 9th Street at around 7 p.m. last night for a possible shooting. Police say upon arrival, they found that two cars, a dark passenger vehicle and an SUV, had taken off from the area. Not long after the report of the shooting, Washington police say one of their officers saw a car that matched the description of the dark passenger vehicle and pulled it over. Now, police determined that the car was involved in the investigation and took 20-year-old Khalil Rogers and 19-year-old Shakur Warren into custody. Now, Warren was found to have been injured in the exchange of gunfire and was taken to ECU Health Beaufort Hospital for treatment. He was later released from the hospital. ECU Health Beaufort Hospital notified police about a gunshot victim in its emergency department about 20 minutes after the shooting. Police say 21-year-old Jamarian Windley was shot multiple times and taken to ECU Health Medical Center in Greenville, where police say he's currently in stable condition. Now, police say, based on their investigation last night, they charged both Rogers and Warren with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, inflicting serious injury. Now, both men are in the Beaufort County Jail without bond. Police say the shooting remains under investigation and more arrests are expected. And now we want to turn our attention to an unsolved murder in Kinston. Police officers say that last Friday, marked the 5th anniversary of the death of Bryce Dixon. Dixon was shot on September 19, 2020 at a house party in the 2200 block of Briarfield Road. Dixon was found with a gunshot wound and died from his injuries. Police say that although they've worked extensively on the investigation, the case remains unsolved. If you have any information related to the shooting that can help bring justice to Dixon and his family, officers ask that you call the Kinston Police Department at 252-939-4020. Or you can reach out to the Lenoir County Crime Stoppers line at 252-523-4444. And now we do want to highlight your weather forecast today. It's looking like a beautiful sunny day across just about all of eastern North Carolina. We are seeing again a little bit more cloud cover right now along the coast. Here's a look at your visible satellite, and some clouds working their way off of a low pressure system right now, starting to spread over some of our southern counties. Again, not completely all-encompassing cloud cover, but certainly enough that will create a little bit of some gray overhead, especially as you get closer to the Crystal Coast. Right now, New Bern enjoying 74 degrees, northerly breeze at 6 miles an hour, dew points in the mid-60s. We've got a little bit warmer temperatures right now along the coast, 74 degrees in Morehead City. This is a view through our sanitary restaurant cam. As you can see, we've got, again, gray overhead. Right now, the Crystal Coast started out sunnier today. We started out with sunshine along the coast of Carteret and Onslow counties, but now those clouds are making their presence felt, keeping air temperatures in the upper 60s right now in Jacksonville, currently coming in at 69 degrees. We've got 73 nearby in Kenansville, as well as Kinston, Goldsboro, Greenville, Oriental. Overall, again, it's a day where we're going to see air temperatures generally rise into the low to mid 80s. However, those of you watching closer to the coast, the Crystal Coast that is, the better opportunity you have of staying a little bit cooler. Air temperature is not going to be quite as high because, well, we've got that cloud cover present. That low pressure system is going to do a great job of keeping everything cooler, thanks to just avoiding, again, that excessive solar radiation. We've got humidity currently in the mid 60s to low 60s throughout most of eastern North Carolina, at least in terms of your dew points. Winds out of the northeast will help keep that humidity from climbing too high today or even tomorrow for that matter. The northeasterly winds really aren't going to shift until we get into tomorrow afternoon to tomorrow evening. And once that happens, then we'll be in line for maybe a little bit more humidity, but certainly more heat on the way. Today, highs in the mid 80s. Coming up later on this evening, we'll see those temperatures drop down to 81 81 degrees by 5, 80 by 6, 76 by 7. We'll be in the upper 60s by 10 and the low 60s as we wake up early tomorrow morning. 62 degrees by 7, 64 by 8, into the low 70s to mid 70s by 10 a.m., upper 70s by 11, low to mid 80s between noon and 1 p.m., and then we're into the upper 80s between 2, 3, 4, and 5 p.m. 87, 88, maybe 89 degrees possible coming up for tomorrow afternoon. And that's just the beginning of the heat. We've got more coming up over the middle to tail end of the week. We've got 91 degrees coming up on Wednesday, 89 on Thursday. Of course, Thursday marks the ECU versus Army football game, and we could be talking about potentially some rain delays there, especially if we have some thunderstorms riding along frontal boundary that, again, could strike near Daddy Ficklin. That, again, would lead to a weather delay. So something we want to make sure Pirate fans understand is that before the game, you are going to, again, want to have the umbrellas or light rain jackets or ponchos, whatever you have to keep the rain off. You're probably going to need it at some point coming up Thursday evening for the game. Now by Friday, those rain chances are going to be, again, hit and miss. A lot of them are going to be tied to that frontal boundary that will essentially stall over the area, keeping a 30% chance of rain in the forecast for the upcoming weekend. But with that stalled front, it really reduces our exposure for severe weather as that front rolls in. The slower that front moves as it moves into eastern North Carolina, the lower our opportunities are for severe weather to occur along that frontal boundary. So right now, everything is looking good from that regard. But again, I know Pirate football fans are probably holding up their hands saying, no, this is not good, Charlie. We need to push those showers out at least another 3, 4, 5 hours just to be safe. Well, that's all we have time for today's 11 a.m. news and weather update. I do want to say hello to Elaine Nichols. Thank you so much for joining me over on Facebook. Again, it is wonderful weather out there. Now, if you are watching from the Crystal Coast and you don't want to have to deal with the cloud cover today, not to worry. Tomorrow it will be sunnier for you. Even on Wednesday, looking at, again, more sunshine. So I do apologize that we've got some cloud cover right now for some of our southern counties, but the rest of eastern North Carolina, hopefully you all enjoy the sunshine. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a wonderful Monday.